Alright, today this is going to be a demonstration on how to take apart your iPhone 3G or 3GS. I'll also be talking about the various components inside of it. In order to do this, you're going to need some tools. Some good tools to have would be if you bought a kit for taking this out or repairing glass or whatever, you'll usually get a replacement screen. You'll get some of the sticky stuff. If you don't get the full thing, you only get like the bottom portion or the top portion, that's fine. That also works too. Having the full sheet is also good. These tools, you can use them. I don't use them. I can do it a different way. I like to use this flathead. Usually a flathead and also a Phillips will come in your kits. If not, you can get a hold of these. They're really cheap, so you'll need this for later. So if you want to be very careful, you can use the plastic, but I'm going to use the Phillips flathead because I know what I'm doing. So we're going to start. There are 3 different parts between the silver portion of the glass. There of course is the glass, and there's like a rubber part, and there's a silver part. Now when we are going to pull this apart, we're going to be wanting to put this in between the flathead or your device right here. You want to put it in between the rubber and the silver part. But before you do that, you want to come down to the bottom where you plug in your iPod. There should be 2 screws. They're taken out on this one, but there'll be 2 screws, one located here, one located here. Make sure to unscrew them and take them out, because those are what keeps this frame and the inside together. So if you pull this out without taking the screws off, you're going to most likely break it. So you don't want to do that. So we're going to start then with going through here. Don't start by tugging anywhere where the LCD is, because you might break it. Good places to start would be either up at the top. Oh yeah, don't forget to take out your little SD card up here too. You always want to make sure that's out. But you want to start by kind of gently lifting up and lifting around. iPhones aren't that bad, so it shouldn't take too much effort to get it up, get it out. So just kind of work around. See, mine just popped up right here, and then it's just going to kind of pop up. Another little extra button go with that. In any case, when you pop up, you're going to notice down here there's a bunch of numbers all over this board, but the 3 most important ones you're going to start off with is right here, and then there's a 3rd one underneath. You're going to start by popping that one up. We'll just kind of lift it up there. Then pop this one up, and then underneath it you'll see it'll either be tan and brown or brown and tan depending upon what it is. Go after the little tab and just lift it up, and then you're able to just nicely pull off this. Now, looking at this component right here, this is your glass and your LCD. They are separate. In order to take the glass off and the LCD apart, you start by taking out the screws on each side. There's 1, 2, 3 on that side, 1, 2 on that side, and then you don't want to forget this screw up on the top here near where you plug in the device. So take them out. Like that. Once you have that, kind of go down. Take your plastic device. It's the best one to use, because that way you won't wreck your LCD. And just very, very, very gently start lifting up on the LCD. It should eventually just kind of pop up here, like that. Should pop right off, and then this LCD will slide out and you'll slide up. So now you have your LCD. This is a good LCD, it works and everything, so this is what one would look like. You would actually get it where when you have your old one, this little metal part is actually kind of glued onto the LCD, so to take that off, just get your little plastic tool in here and get it going, and that'll come off. And that's how you should receive all your LCDs. So, like that, and then you just take the glass, make sure that this is pointed up next to your connector, and that'll just be sitting right like that, and that's how it'll go back on. This is your glass component that you'll get. Actually, it will not come with this frame. You can order the frame separate, but the thing about the frame is that is where the microphone is located. This little ribbon right here is the microphone itself, and that is this whole frame component, and also your home button key is down here as well. The glass you'll just get as plain old glass, and it will lift out. You'll just kind of push it up or lift it up, and you set in the new glass, and make sure that this part, this cable, comes in and down and around the frame and out. So that's how the frame is. So now we're going to go back. Don't need any of the screws anymore. We'll go back to the actual iPod itself. Alright, as you can see, actually one of the components came off down here. We have some of the wireless. It's one of the things you can just pop up right here. There's also this component that hooks on. That's your stereo, your speakers. You can order that separate too. You have down here your headphone jack. That'll pop off. Some more wireless capabilities. It's actually part of your phone. And then there'll be several screws located here, 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 in the corner, there, and that should be it. Oh, I'm sorry, and also right there. And then you can just take and you can lift up your motherboard. And there should only be one more component. Make sure to unscrew also down here. There'll be a little clip going on here. This actually is the camera. And then that'll lift up and come out with it. The camera should still be attached to the motherboard. It's the most important thing you want to remember. Keep the camera attached to the motherboard. This is a 3G. This is a 3G motherboard. So you can see how it looks and how it's different. Always check a bunch of things if you're ordering just a motherboard. First off, check to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. All the connectors are there, nothing's broken. Second of all, take a look inside your SD card reader. Make sure all 3 pins are there. I recently got one that only had 2 pins, which then it wouldn't read SD cards. I mean, your SIM cards, which is a bad thing, so always check that SIM card reader. And just check to make sure in general that the board's clean and all that. So you come down in here. This is the stereo, the way it comes out. You unscrew, there'll be 2 screws down located next to each of the connector to the iPod. There should be another screw over here and another screw underneath here. It also should have been connected with the motherboard. And then you lift up on it and it should pop right out. There are 2 speakers. This part of the speaker has this little rubbery thing on it. Make sure if it falls off, you put it back on and it's facing the way that it is now. And you can see the components and everything. Your battery is located down here. Take out your battery. At this point in time, it would just be a lift. You'll get your battery. It looks like this. And with these, you always want to make sure that these are pointed up, pointed out. If you skip water spilled on everything, your battery might rust, and you can see like oxidation on these little pins right there. That's a bad thing. Those pins have to make contact with the motherboard right here. If they don't make contact, then the device will not charge. Down here then is all of your cables and your headphone jack. This entire ribbon cable here makes up the power, the headphone jack, and the volume buttons. If this breaks, you get it like that and you have to replace it like that. It is a pain, but it is still doable with a little bit of patience. The screws are located inside here. There are 3 of them. And there's a screw right there for the headphone jack. You do have to unscrew this. This is part of the wireless. And then there's a screw inside here and over here for the power button. And there's another screw inside here. I'm sorry, it's also your alarm button on the side here, your silent button. So that's how you take that out. I'm not going to take that out right now because that'll be for another tutorial. And that's how you take apart your iPod and more about it. If you have any questions or have any comments, feel free to leave them. Otherwise, check out my website at www.dustydragonproductions.com/iPod repairs. And thank you very much.